Get ready for some fantastic shark stories where we'll see what happens when sharks attack and how the people involved were saved. These tales are full of suspense and bravery from the ocean's depths. Watch until the end to catch all the action and learn about the incredible efforts to rescue those in danger. A secluded lagoon lay in a remote part of the Pacific, nestled among a cluster of lesser-known islands. This place, untouched by the busyness of the modern world, was remarkable for its pristine clarity. The water here was so transparent that one could easily see the colorful marine life teeming beneath its surface, glittering as the sunlight danced across the gentle waves. Surrounding the lagoon, the sand was of such a fine white quality that it felt almost surreal underfoot, akin to a soft, downy carpet rather than the granular texture one might expect. Bordering this serene beach, a variety of lush trees stood tall, their leaves rustling in the gentle sea breeze, creating a soothing natural melody that seemed to carry the ancient stories of the island. On a bright sunny morning, the Andrews family decided it was the perfect day for an adventure. They were happy and eager to explore the wonders of the natural world. They headed to the lagoon with their snorkeling gear, excited about the underwater creatures they might find. The youngest of the family was a spirited little girl named Lily Andrews. Lily had a heart full of courage and curiosity, and she couldn't wait to dive into the water and meet the colorful fish she imagined lived there. The family quickly put on their snorkeling masks and fins as they reached the lagoon. They looked at each other with broad smiles, took a deep breath, and plunged into the inviting blue sea. The underwater world was even more beautiful than they had imagined. Schools of bright fish darted around, and the coral shimmered in all colors of the rainbow. Lily was in awe, swimming slowly and following a group of fish as they twisted and turned through the water. But as Lily ventured closer to the shallows, something unexpected happened. A group of baby sharks, attracted by the abundance of fish, had come to the lagoon. At first they seemed calm, but soon they sensed an opportunity for an easy meal. The sharks became agitated and aggressive, their movements quick and determined. Unaware of the danger, Lily was surrounded by the shadows of the circling predators. Her heart beat as she noticed the baby sharks darting in for the attack. The water, once straightforward and inviting, now seemed dark and threatening. Lily tried to swim away, but the sharks were everywhere, moving closer and closer. From the shore, Lily's family watched in horror. They saw the little girl surrounded by the sharks, their sleek bodies cutting through the water with alarming speed. Fear gripped their hearts, but they knew they had to act fast to save Lily. Without a second thought, Lily's parents and older siblings dove into the water, swimming with all their might toward her. They had to reach Lily before the sharks did. As they got closer, they shouted and splashed, doing everything they could to scare the sharks away and protect the girl, bravely facing the danger beneath the waves. The family's love for Lily strengthened them, and their determination shone brightly amid fear. As they drew nearer, the once serene lagoon had become the stage for a dramatic rescue, a testament to the courage and bond of the Andrews family. The parents, John and Maria Andrews, reached Lily first. John waved his arms and splashed the water, creating a barrier between the sharks and his precious daughter. With equal fierceness, Maria joined in, her movements bold and decisive. The older siblings, Alex and Bella, were right behind them, adding to the commotion, their actions loud and determined. The water around them churned with activity, a whirlpool of human bravery facing the confusion of nature. Miraculously, the sharks began to hesitate, startled by the sudden onslaught of noise and movement. Their instinctual aggression wavered under the unexpected resistance. Young and still learning the ways of their world, these creatures found the loud splashes and the fierce defense of the Andrews family intimidating. Slowly, the circling sharks started to disperse, their shadows retreating into the lagoon's depths. With the sharks moving away, John quickly scooped Lily into his arms, holding her close. Maria and the older kids circled them, forming a protective barrier. Together, they returned to the shore, their hearts racing from the adrenaline and relief. As they reached the safety of the sand, they collapsed into a tight embrace, grateful for the safety of their family. Safe in her parents' arms, Lily looked up at them with wide, thankful eyes. She had been scared, but also felt a deep trust in her family's love and protection. The sun began to set over the lagoon, casting a golden glow over the water and the family who had faced their fears together. They sat on the beach for a long time, watching the sky turn from blue to shades of pink and orange. The day started as an adventure and became a testament to their courage and love. As they packed up to leave, the lagoon seemed peaceful again, its waters glistening quietly under the fading light. But the Andrews family will never forget this day. They had come face to face with danger and overcame it together. It was a story they would tell for years to come, a reminder of the strength they found in each other. Back home, Lily often thought about the baby sharks and the crystal-clear waters of the lagoon. She knew the ocean was vast and wild, with wonders and dangers, but she also knew that she could face any challenge with her family by her side. And perhaps one day, she would return to the lagoon, not just as a little girl on an adventure, but as a brave explorer of the vast, beautiful world. On the beautiful and sunny north shore of Oahu, Hawaii, three best friends, Kevin, Jake, and Leo, woke up early, excited for a day of surfing. The sky was clear and the waves were perfect. They quickly got ready, grabbing their colorful surfboards that looked like rainbows against the bright sand. They laughed and talked about the waves they would catch as they walked down to the water, the warm sand tickling their toes. The ocean welcomed them with open arms, its calm waters a pleasant contrast to the hot sun. They paddled out, eager to catch their first waves. One by one, they showed off their skills. Kevin glided on the water like a dolphin. Jake did tricks that made Leo clap and cheer, and Leo rode the waves with a fearless heart. But a shadow lurked nearby as they played in the ocean's embrace. A tiger shark, curious and hungry, was drawn to the splashes and the fun. It watched from a distance, its eyes fixed on the surfers. Leo, the youngest and most adventurous, paddled farther out, chasing a wave that promised to be the ride of his life. Waiting for the wave, he felt something brush against his leg. Before he could react, the shadow surged forward. In a sudden, terrifying moment, the shark attacked, its mighty jaws snapping. Leo was dragged underwater, the ocean turning dark around him. He fought with all his might, trying to escape the shark's grip. Above, Kevin and Jake saw the attack and froze for a heartbeat, fear gripping them. But then their friendship and bravery took over. They shouted at Leo, calling his name, paddling towards him with all their strength. Kevin and Jake used their surfboards as shields, banging them on the water and making as much noise as possible to scare the shark. Leo felt the shark's grip loosen underwater as the vibrations and noise confused it. He kicked and pushed and finally broke free, surfacing for air. His friends were right there, pulling him away from the danger. The shark, deterred by the noise and the fight, decided to retreat, disappearing into the deep blue. The friends paddled back to shore as fast as they could, their hearts pounding and their breaths heavy with fear and relief. As they reached the safety of the shore, the gravity of Leo's ordeal became starkly evident. His leg bore the unmistakable marks of the shark's teeth, a vivid testament to the predator's force. Blood colored the sand beneath them, starkly contrasting the earlier light-hearted moments of the day. A tense silence replaced the laughter and joy that had filled the air just hours ago, punctuated only by Leo's labored breathing. Acting with urgency, Kevin fashioned a makeshift tourniquet from his shirt, applying pressure to stem the bleeding. Jake, his hands shaking but his resolve firm, dialed for emergency services, his voice steady as he communicated their dire situation. Within moments that felt like an eternity, the beach was abuzz with the sound of sirens and the rapid approach of paramedics. As they took over, Kevin and Jake could only watch, their hearts heavy as their friend was loaded onto a stretcher. The paramedics worked quickly. Their expertise was evident in their swift, decisive actions. Despite his pain, Leo managed a weak smile and a silent message of gratitude to his friends. The ambulance doors closed with a definitive thud, marking the beginning of Leo's fight beyond the ocean's grasp. The ride to the hospital was a blur of flashing lights and sharp turns, each moment stretching into infinity. Kevin and Jake followed in their car, their silence filled with unspoken fears and shared resolve. Upon arrival, they were met with the clinical efficiency of the hospital staff, who whisked Leo away to the emergency room. The waiting room became their temporary refuge, a place of hope and despair intermingled. Hours passed, marked only by the sterile clock tick and the occasional update from the medical team. Leo had sustained significant injuries, they were told, but he was strong and the doctors were optimistic. Kevin and Jake, exhausted yet relieved, leaned on each other for support, their friendship a beacon in the tumultuous storm of the day's events. The incident at the beach, now a pivotal moment in their lives, reshaped their understanding of nature's beauty and its inherent dangers. It brought home the reality that every moment was precious, and the bond of friendship was their greatest strength. In the days that followed, as Leo began his slow journey to recovery, the three friends found solace in their shared experience. Their story, a testament to bravery and survival, resonated beyond the confines of their circle, inspiring others with its message of respect for the natural world and the indomitable spirit of friendship. Their brush with danger did not deter them from returning to the waves, but it instilled a profound respect for the ocean and its inhabitants. They surfed with a newfound appreciation for the power beneath them, each wave a reminder of their ordeal and the lessons it taught. Once a playground, the ocean had become a teacher, imparting wisdom through its waves and reminding them of the delicate balance between humanity and nature. In the vast and beautiful waters off the coast of Australia lies the Great Barrier Reef, a place full of wonders and hidden secrets. Here, among the colorful corals and the bustling life of the underwater world, an adventurous woman named Emily decided to embark on a journey of discovery. Emily had always been fascinated by the ocean. Its vastness and mystery called to her promising adventures and sights few had ever witnessed. With her heart full of excitement and a bit of nerves, she prepared for a solo diving expedition to explore the depths of this underwater paradise. Early one morning, with the sun casting a golden glow over the water, Emily arrived at the dive site. She checked her diving gear, making sure everything was in perfect order. Her oxygen tank was complete, her wetsuit was snug, and her mask was clear. She took a deep breath, feeling the salty air fill her lungs, and stepped into the water. The cool embrace of the ocean welcomed her as she began her descent. The surface world faded away, replaced by the serene silence of the sea. The reef came into view, a riot of color and life. Schools of fish swam by in dazzling arrays, and corals of every shape and color stretched out as far as the eye could see. As Emily explored, she was in awe of the beauty around her. She floated effortlessly, guided by the currents, her eyes wide with wonder at the sights before her. She loved diving. She felt a sense of peace and connection with the natural world in the depths. But then something changed. The water around her grew colder and a shadow passed overhead. Emily looked up, her heart skipping a beat. There, patrolling the reef, was a massive bull shark, its sleek body moving gracefully through the water. For a moment, Emily was frozen, caught between fear and fascination. The shark hadn't noticed her yet, but its presence was a stark reminder of the ocean's wild and unpredictable nature. Before Emily could react, the shark turned, its eyes locking on her. In an instant, the atmosphere shifted from wonder to danger. The shark charged, moving with incredible speed. Emily's heart raced as she realized it was coming straight for her. With no time to think, she tried to move out of the way, but the shark was too fast. It bit into her leg, a sudden and sharp pain shooting through her. Emily fought to stay calm, knowing that panicking would only worsen things. The shark's grip was firm, dragging her deeper into the abyss. Around her, the colors of the reef faded into the dark blues and blacks of the ocean's depths. Emily's mind raced, searching for a way to escape. Her oxygen was dwindling, and the predator was still nearby, its shadow looming over her. At that moment, faced with the real threat of the shark and the pressing issue of her limited oxygen, Emily knew she had to act. She needed strength and courage to fight off the shark and return to the surface. Summoning every ounce of courage, Emily remembered the training she had undergone for situations like this. She knew sudden movements could provoke the shark further, so she had to be wise about her escape. With the shark still nearby, she slowly reached for her emergency flare from her belt, hoping to use it to distract the shark. With a firm push, she activated the flare, which burst into life, sending a shower of bright sparks into the water around her. The shark, curious and momentarily distracted by the light, veered off course, giving Emily the chance she needed. Using her excellent leg and conserving as much oxygen as possible, Emily began her ascent to the surface. The journey up was agonizing. Every movement sent pain shooting through her injured leg, and her lungs screamed for air. But the thought of seeing the sun again, of breathing fresh air, drove her onwards. She focused on her training and the safety drills she had practiced many times, never really believing she would have to use them like this. The water gradually lightened as she ascended, signaling her approach to the surface. Emily's heart lifted with hope, but knew the dangers of ascending too quickly. She forced herself to slow down to allow her body to adjust, even as her oxygen indicator flashed its final warning. Finally breaking the surface, Emily gasped for air, the sunlight dazzling her eyes. She had made it, but she was far from safe. She was alone, miles from shore, and with a severe injury. She inflated her emergency buoy, sent a distress signal, and prayed for rescue. Meanwhile, having lost interest in the flare, the shark disappeared into the ocean depths, leaving Emily to face the aftermath of their encounter alone. Time seemed to stand still as Emily floated, waiting. Her mind raced with thoughts of her family and friends, of everything she had wanted to do. She regretted not taking more precautions and venturing out alone. But amidst the fear and regret, she felt a surge of gratitude for the beauty of life, for the chance to fight for it. Rescue came in the form of a passing dive boat, alerted by her distress signal. The crew quickly pulled her aboard, providing first aid for her injury and oxygen to help her breathe. As the boat sped back to shore, Emily lay back, exhausted but alive, the sky above her more beautiful than she had ever remembered. Back on land, Emily's adventure on the Great Barrier Reef became a tale of survival. She spoke about the beauty of the reef, the majesty of its inhabitants, and the respect the ocean demands from those who seek to explore its depths. Her encounter with the shark had been a harsh reminder of nature's power, but also reinforced her love for the sea. Emily's story spread, inspiring others with her courage and determination. She healed from her injuries, but the experience stayed with her, a constant reminder of the day she faced her deepest fears and emerged stronger. Her dive into the Great Barrier Reef had started as an adventure, a quest for discovery. It ended as a journey of survival, fighting against the odds and finding a new respect for the natural world. Emily knew she would return to the sea, but she would carry the lessons of that day with her forever. On a bright sunny morning in Bimini, a small but beautiful island in the Bahamas, a group of 4 friends decided it was the perfect day for an adventure. Michael, Alex, Jamie, and Tyler had been planning this snorkeling trip for weeks, eager to explore the vibrant coral reefs surrounding the island. The Caribbean Sea, known for its crystal-clear waters and abundant marine life, promised a day full of excitement and discovery. With their snorkeling gear, the friends set out early, heading to a secluded spot on the island, known only to locals and the most adventurous travelers. The water was a mesmerizing shade of blue, so clear that you could see the colorful coral and fish from the boat. Michael exclaimed in awe at the beauty before them, his eyes wide with anticipation. The others, equally captivated by the stunning scenery around them, nodded in agreement. With shared eagerness, they quickly equipped themselves with snorkeling masks and fins, ready to plunge into the underwater world. The calm sea enveloped them as they slipped into the water, a refreshing contrast to the warm sun. They swam together, marveling at the coral reefs teeming with life. Brightly colored fish darted between the corals, and sea turtles glided gracefully near the ocean floor. It was like entering another world, one where the worries of everyday life seemed a million miles away. However, unbeknownst to them, their presence in the water had attracted the attention of a pack of Caribbean reef sharks. Drawn by the scent of bait fish in the area, the sharks were curious about the new visitors to their territory. Michael, always the most adventurous of the group, ventured a little farther from the others, drawn by a particularly vibrant coral formation. He was so engrossed in the beauty below him that he didn't notice he had strayed from his friends. Suddenly, a shadow passed overhead. Michael looked up, expecting to see one of his friends, but instead he found himself staring into the eyes of a Caribbean reef shark. His heart skipped a beat as he realized he was not alone. Several more shadows circled him. Panicked, Michael tried to remember what he had read about sharks. He knew sudden movements could provoke an attack, so he tried to remain as calm as possible, slowly moving backward towards where he had last seen his friends. With the group, Alex was the first to notice Michael's absence, prompting him to scan the water with growing concern. What had been moments of fun and excitement rapidly shifted to anxiety as they realized Michael was nowhere to be seen. They fanned out, each one urgently searching for their friend, their voices echoing his name across the expanse. Once marked by its clarity and tranquil waters, the day had taken a sudden ominous turn. The enchanting beauty of the reef, which had held their fascination just moments before, was now pushed to the back of their minds, overshadowed by the pressing need to locate Michael. Meanwhile, Michael found himself in a frantic battle for survival. The sharks, perhaps mistaking him for a rival predator or an easy meal, began to close in. He could see his friends in the distance, but they seemed too far away. In that moment of fear and isolation, Michael realized how quickly an adventure could turn into a nightmare. He needed his friends now more than ever. He waved and shouted, trying to get their attention, hoping they would see him and come to his aid before it was too late. Michael waved frantically, trying to catch his friends' attention from a distance. Alex noticed the desperate movements and alerted the others. They quickly swam towards Michael, their hearts pounding with fear and determination. As they neared Michael, they saw the shadows of the sharks circling him. The sight sent a jolt of fear through them, but they knew they had to act fast to save their friend. Gathering their courage, they remembered the advice they had read before their trip. Stay calm, make yourself big, and stick together to fend off sharks. Forming a tight circle around Michael, they kicked and splashed water, making themselves appear larger and more intimidating. Curious but cautious sharks circled the group, their sleek bodies gliding effortlessly through the water. Tyler, who had brought a waterproof camera, began flashing it toward the sharks, hoping the light would deter them. The flashes confused the sharks, giving the friends a momentary advantage. Seizing the opportunity, Jamie led the group in a slow but steady movement toward the shore, keeping Michael in the middle. The sharks followed for a while, their interest piqued by the group's actions, but the concerted efforts of Michael's friends, their unity and determination, seemed to discourage them. After what felt like an eternity, the sharks gradually lost interest and disappeared into the depths of the sea, leaving the friends to continue their cautious journey back to safety. As they reached the shallow waters near the shore, relief washed over them. They were exhausted, their adrenaline fading, replaced by realizing what they had just survived. They helped Michael out of the water, his leg bearing marks from the shark's bite, a painful reminder of their encounter. Sitting on the beach, they caught their breaths, the silence around them starkly contrasting with the chaos they had just experienced. Michael looked at his friends, gratitude filling his eyes that night as they sat together, nursing their wounds and recounting their tales to the locals. Their bond felt stronger than ever. They had faced a terrifying ordeal and had come out of it together. The experience taught them the importance of respecting the ocean and its inhabitants, a lesson they would carry with them forever. Their adventure in the waters of Bimini had started as a quest for beauty and discovery, but had turned into a fight for survival. Yet in facing their fears and standing together, they found something just as precious, a deeper understanding of the power of friendship and the strength of unity. As they left Bimini, the island held a new meaning for them. It was no longer just a beautiful destination for an adventure, but a place where they had been tested and had emerged stronger. A reminder of the day when they had faced the depth of their fears and had found the courage to overcome them together. In the vast and shimmering waters of the Gulf of Mexico, friends set out on an adventure they had been dreaming of for months. They were on a deep-sea fishing trip, eager to catch the majestic marlin known for its strength and beauty. Among them was Sarah, a passionate angler who loved the sea. She had organized this expedition, bringing together her closest friends for what promised to be a day of excitement and unforgettable memories. The morning sun cast a golden glow over the water as their boat, the Sea Explorer, cut through the waves. The air was filled with salty breezes and the crew's laughter, a mix of seasoned anglers and enthusiastic beginners. Sarah stood at the helm, guiding the boat to their chosen fishing spot, a well-known area where the marlins were plentiful. As they reached the spot, the excitement on the boat was palpable. The crew prepared their fishing gear, casting lines into the deep blue water, waiting for the telltale tug of a fish on the line. Sarah watched with pride as her friends followed her instructions, their eyes excitedly shining. The serene ambience was composed of the gentle lapping of waves against the boat and the sporadic calls of seabirds flying above for a period. This tranquility was abruptly interrupted when one of the fishing reels emitted a shrill sound, its line strained by a formidable force. Emily, one of the anglers, urgently announced the catch and dashed towards the rod. Gripping it firmly, she embarked on the strenuous task of reeling in their catch. The crew rallied around Emily, cheering her on as she fought with the fish. Sarah watched, her heart racing with excitement. Deep-sea fishing was all about this. The thrill of the chase, the connection with the mighty creatures of the sea. However, as Emily struggled with the line, something unexpected happened. A massive hammerhead shark emerged from the depths, attracted by the struggle and the prospect of an easy meal. Its arrival was sudden and terrifying, its colossal body cutting through the water with incredible speed. Before anyone could react, the shark targeted the marlin on Emily's line, its massive jaws snapping shut around the fish. The force of the attack pulled Emily forward, and in a heartbeat she was overboard, disappearing into the churning waters below. Panic erupted on the boat. Sarah screamed Emily's name, her mind racing as she tried to process what had just happened. Now visible in the clear water, the shark circled beneath Emily, its dorsal fin cutting through the surface like a blade. The crew acted. Their fishing trip turned into a rescue mission. Sarah grabbed a life preserver and threw it towards Emily while the others scrambled to start the boat's engine, desperate to get closer to their friend in the water. As the boat rocked with the waves, Sarah's fear for Emily mixed with determination. She knew they had to act quickly to save her from the relentless predator below. The hammerhead shark, one of the ocean's most formidable hunters, was not easily deterred, and its presence filled the air with tension and fear. Sarah shouted instructions to her crew, her voice steady despite the chaos. They needed to work together, brave and quick-witted, to rescue Emily and fend off the shark. With its beauty and danger, the Gulf of Mexico was testing them, a reminder of nature's power and unpredictability. The crew's efforts intensified with the Sea Explorer, now a rescue vessel. The engine roared as they maneuvered the boat closer to Emily, who clung to the life preserver with terror and hope in her eyes. The hammerhead shark, a formidable silhouette against the deep, continued its ominous patrol, drawn by the flurry of activity. Sarah's leadership proved crucial as she orchestrated the rescue efforts. She directed everyone to focus on Emily and the shark, emphasizing the need for a distraction. Meanwhile, Jack, another crew member, quickly devised a makeshift lure from the boat. He attached a spare fish from their earlier catch to a rope and threw it far from Emily, aiming to divert the shark's attention away from her. The strategy worked momentarily. The shark, intrigued by the more leisurely meal, veered off course towards the bait, granting a precious window of opportunity for Emily's rescue. The crew wasted no time. With precise movements of desperation and hope, they pulled Emily towards the boat, her safety and balance with each inch gained. As Emily's hands grasped the boat's edge, the crew rallied to lift her from the water's grip, the physical effort mirroring the emotional strain of the moment. She tumbled onto the deck, drenched and shaken but alive. The relief that washed over everyone was palpable. A shared breath exhaled in unison against the backdrop of the Gulf's vast expanse. The shark, its attention momentarily diverted, returned, its curiosity unsatisfied. But its approach was slower and more cautious, as if it recognized the collective resolve of those aboard the Sea Explorer. Sarah and her crew stood firm, watching the predator, a silent standoff between the depths and the surface. In the aftermath, as the Sea Explorer returned to shore, the crew processed the day's events. Their fishing trip, envisioned as a day of camaraderie and sport, had evolved into a testament to their strength and unity in the face of nature's unpredictability. While recovering from her ordeal, Emily expressed her gratitude through tired eyes, her ordeal a stark reminder of the ocean's power and mystery. Reflecting on the day, Sarah knew this experience would forever alter their relationship with the sea. They sought adventure and found a profound respect for the natural world, understanding its beauty and dangers. With its serene surface and hidden depths, the Gulf of Mexico had offered them a glimpse into its complex tapestry of life, a narrative punctuated by their encounter with one of its most respected inhabitants. As the Sea Explorer docked, the sun dipped below the horizon, casting the day's events into the growing shadows of twilight. The crew disembarked their steps on solid ground, starkly contrasting with the rolling waves they had faced. They parted with hugs and quiet words, mutual recognition of the bond forged by their shared ordeal. Their encounter with the hammerhead shark circulated a narrative of fear, bravery, and survival in the following days. Sarah and her crew returned to the sea, their passion undimmed but now tempered with a deeper appreciation for the delicate balance between humans and the marine world. They knew that each trip carried risks, but also the promise of understanding and respecting the vast, untamed beauty of the ocean. Their adventure in the Gulf of Mexico had ended. Still, the memories of that day, of the fear faced and the challenges overcome, would remain with them, guiding lights for all their future voyages on the unpredictable seas. On a bright and sunny day in Umhlanga Rocks, a famous tourist beach in South Africa, the Johnson family was soaking up the sun and enjoying the warm, inviting waters of the Indian Ocean. Mark and Linda Johnson and their 3 children had been looking forward to this day trip to the beach, a break from the routine of their holiday visits. The youngest son, Tommy, who was 8 years old and energetic, was particularly excited. The ocean was his playground. He couldn't wait to splash in the waves and build sandcastles on the shore. He ran towards the water with his siblings, Sarah and Alex, laughing and shouting joyfully. The beach was bustling with other families and tourists, all drawn by the pristine sands and the clear turquoise waters that made Umhlanga Rocks a sought-after destination. Lifeguards patrolled the beach, their eyes scanning the water for any signs of trouble, a reassuring presence for all. Tommy couldn't contain his excitement as the Johnsons settled near the water's edge. He waded into the shallow waters, kicking and splashing under the watchful eyes of his parents. Mark and Linda relaxed on their beach towels, their attention divided between their playful children and the book they had brought. But as the afternoon sun climbed higher in the sky, the warm waters and abundant marine life of Umhlanga Rocks attracted more than just tourists and locals. Hidden from view, a tiger shark lurked closer to the shoreline, drawn by the temperature and the promise of prey. Unaware of the danger, Tommy ventured farther from his siblings, chasing after a colorful fish that darted near the surface. His laughter and splashes were a melody of innocence and joy. Suddenly, the water around Tommy churned violently. A shadow moved swiftly towards him, and before anyone could react, the tiger shark lunged, its massive jaws snapping. Tommy was pulled underwater, a scream cut short by the sea. The beach erupted in panic. Mark and Linda, frozen in horror at seeing their son disappearing beneath the waves, sprang into action. Mark plunged into the water, his only thought to save Tommy. Linda's screams for help pierced the air, drawing the attention of lifeguards and fellow beachgoers. Sarah and Alex, shocked and scared, could only watch as their father disappeared into the water after their brother. The lifeguards, trained for such emergencies, rushed towards the scene, their rescue boards slicing through the waves. Underwater, Mark fought against the opacity to find Tommy. Surprised by the sudden intrusion, the shark circled back, its predatory instincts on display. Mark, fueled by a desperate determination, reached Tommy just as the shark prepared to strike again. With a strength he didn't know he possessed, Mark pushed Tommy towards the surface, shielding him with his own body. The shark, deterred by the commotion and the nearing lifeguards, hesitated and disappeared into the depths, leaving a trail of confusion and fear. Emerging from the water, Mark held Tommy close, the boy coughing and gasping for air but alive. The lifeguards reached them quickly, pulling them onto the rescue boards and back to the safety of the shore. On the beach, relief washed over the Johnson family as they reunited, their hugs a mixture of gratitude and disbelief. Shaken but unharmed, Tommy clung to his parents, his adventure in the water a stark reminder of the ocean's hidden dangers. The aftermath of the shark encounter was a quiet period for the Johnson family. As they gathered their belongings, their conversation was subdued, each lost in their thoughts. Mark and Linda exchanged glances, their eyes reflecting a turmoil of emotions, fear, relief, and a newfound caution. The day's joy had been overshadowed by a stark reminder of the unpredictability of nature and the fragility of life. The ride back to their holiday rental was filled with reflections on the day's events. Wrapped in a warm towel, Tommy sat quietly in the back seat. The ordeal had drained much of his usual vibrancy. Sarah and Alex were quieter than expected. The memory of their brother's struggle in the water was a vivid image they couldn't shake off. Upon returning to their rental, Linda prepared hot cocoa for the group, offering a modest gesture of comfort following the day's alarming events. They assembled in the living room, quietly sipping their drinks until Tommy, with a soft yet firm voice, pierced the silence. He expressed his gratitude to his dad, acknowledging his father's role in saving him, his gaze filled with profound thankfulness. The conversation that followed was a cathartic one, with each member of the family expressing their fears and their relief. They spoke about the importance of being aware of their surroundings, respecting the ocean's power, and the strength they found in each other. It was a bonding moment of understanding that what they had survived had brought them closer together. In the following days, the Johnsons continued their holiday in South Africa, with a more cautious approach to their adventures. They visited other attractions, enjoyed local cuisine, and spent time together, but they avoided the ocean, the memory of the shark encounter still fresh in their minds. Before they left Umhlanga Rocks, they decided to visit the beach one last time. Standing at the water's edge, they watched the waves crash onto the sand, a beautiful but powerful reminder of the day when their lives had been changed. They held hands, a united front against the vastness of the sea, a family strengthened by adversity. Holding his father's hand tightly, Tommy looked up at the ocean, no longer just a playground, but a realm that demanded respect. Mark smiled down at his son, squeezing his hand. As they turned to leave, the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a golden glow over Umhlanga Rocks. The Johnson family walked away from the beach, their steps in the sand a testament to their journey of joy, fear, survival, and learning. Their experience at the beach was a chapter in their family's story that would be remembered not for the danger they had faced, but for the love and courage they had seen them through. The encounter with the tiger shark in the waters of Umhlanga Rocks would remain a pivotal moment in their lives, a stark reminder of the balance between enjoying the beauty of the natural world and acknowledging its inherent risks. But more than that, it was a reminder of the preciousness of family and the unbreakable bonds that sustain them through the most terrifying moments. As they looked back one last time at the ocean, now calm and serene in the twilight, they knew they would return to it someday, wiser, and with a deeper appreciation for the mysteries it held beneath its surface.